This is not good, man. Ladies and gentlemen, good evening, good afternoon, good morning. That depends on the time you are watching or you'll be watching this program. First of all, would like to apologize for the delay. My name is Papa Mike, and welcome to this special talk show, which we're going to be discussing about important, very, very important topic, education and development. I believe without a shadow of doubt that someone's going to be inspired throughout this show. So before even I reveal my special guest, I would like you to do me a big favor. Please share the link, because someone is going to be inspired through this program. Share the link with someone. If you're already connected, share the link with someone. I'm going to pass on this message again in French. Pour ceux qui sont déjà connectés, je vous prie de partager le lien avec quelqu'un. Parce que dans ces programmes, je sais que quelqu'un sera inspiré. Le sujet que nous allons développer, nous allons décortiquer avec mes invités, est d'une importance capitale. Alors ne gardez pas ça pour vous seul. Partagez ça avec quelqu'un, s'il vous plaît. Je vais passer le même message en lingala. Andeko nyonso baza déjà connecté na katia programme oyo, s'il vous plaît, bokabola yango na bato misusu. Ba parents bana bazala connecté na programme oyo po tozolobela likambo oyo eza ya mutuya oyo etali éducation pe développement ya bana na biso pe ya bato nyonso. Eza vraiment important ce ko partager lien na bato nyonso. Na kolobela yango na Swahili. Batu yote benye beko connecté kui programme leo, s'il vous plaît, mukabule programme na batu bengine. Parce que maneno hii tutaongea hapa na bainvite yangu iko ya lazima kabisa. Upartager na batu bengine itakuwa ya lazima kabisa. S'il vous plaît. Thank you very much for your collaborations, and I would like to say a big thank you, a special thank you to J. Mike for giving us this opportunity to be on this prestigious studio. And without further delay, I'm going to now give an opportunity to my guests to introduce themselves. So I'm going to start with the one on my left. Brother, can you introduce yourself so that people can know who you are and what you do for profession?
Yes, good evening everyone. My name is Jires Masamba. I'm an engineer in petroleum engineering. That's my background. I studied petroleum engineering, and I also have did my first master's in drilling and well engineering, which is still to do with oil and gas, and another master's in energy management, which is to do with renewable energy transition and sustainability. And as a profession, I work in the oil and gas industry in Scotland, here in the UK. So I'm between the UK and the Middle East. That's what I do. That's who I am and what I do as a professional.
Oh, thank you very much, Engineer Jurais. So I'm gonna go to the person next to me on my right. Can you introduce yourself?
Yes. Good evening, everyone. It's a pleasure to be on the show. Thank you for having us today. My name is Patrick Mbaya Kanyinda. I'm a civil engineer, specializing in construction. I work in construction. So I studied at university an undergrad in civil engineering with sustainability, and then did a master's in water engineering. So specializing in projects that encompass, supply of water, treatment, and bringing it to people's homes, and also like wastewater treatment. And currently I'm a project engineer, and the company I work for, we do a lot of work for Thames Water. So just any new infrastructure or refurbishing current infrastructure and things like that, any upgrades and things like that. So that's just a bit about my background.
Wonderful. Thank you very much, Engineer Patrick. Can I go to next? Can you introduce yourself?
Yeah, good evening, everyone. It's a pleasure for us as a Ukcena to be here. My name is Mbo Kasai. I'm a trained petroleum engineer, and my first master was in petroleum engineer. After work for some years, I transit for my second master in mining engineer. With the company that I work, is to explore exploration for mining, and we do as well trading of commodities. As part of Ukcena, I am the the Secretary General of Ukcena, and we are glad to be here.
Oh, thank you very much. So you've just touched on something that was going to be my next question. So you are Ukcena. Can you actually tell us a bit more about Ukcena? I'm gonna start with Engineer Jules on my left. Can you tell us about Ukcena? Who are you and what are you doing?
Yes, Ukcena is actually a Congolese Engineers Network Association. That's where the name Ukcena comes from. So UK Sena means Congolese Engineers Network Association. That's what it means. So who we are engineers from different sectors. We just introduce ourselves here. Within Ukcena, we have different type of engineers. We have petroleum engineers, civil engineers over there, and many more. We have mining engineers, mechanical engineers, chemical engineers, and so on. So what we do within Ukcena, we promote STEM. We promote STEM. STEM. I think most of the people that are watching us tonight, they know what STEM means, or we can just quickly explain what it is. STEM stands for science, technology, engineering, and mathematics.
Yeah.
So as platform of engineers, that's what we promote, because we want to see more Congolese or the BMA, the Black African and minority ethnicity to be more involved within the STEM sector, STEM studies, as well as working professionally. I don't know if I should at this point also explain why we came up with this platform.
I think maybe you can go for, but I'm gonna ask that question to Engineer Patrick, or I mean whoever is ready to go for that. So when and why did you come up with this platform?
Yeah, so it has been 3 years when we decided to create Ukcena. That was a call for Jires that made that call to bring together Congolese engineers that perform here in the UK. So we started 7 co-founder for Ukcena. Today we have 25 active members. So the idea behind that is first to create a network where we can exchange our knowledge between engineers, and then to look as well how can we assist our community with here in terms of innovations and support them with the ongoing project back home in the DRC.
Thank you very much. This is quite important, honestly, because there are so many things that happen, especially in the world right now. When you look in the UK, there are so many things. In terms of a STEM subject, the statistic shows so only 24% of female who actually do STEM subjects.
Yeah.
Do you have any female members in Ukcena, and how many, if you can tell us?
Yes, we do have female engineers within the Ukcena. At the moment, we have 27 members of 27 member engineers within the group, and there's only 3 women engineers. Unfortunately, they couldn't be with us this evening. It would have been great to have them here, but due to the strike of the train, the transport didn't allow them to get to London today, because they are all outside London. But we do have women and within our platform, and that's one of our mission. One of our mission is to empower more women within the STEM sectors. And also, just to top up on what Engineer Kasai, our CJ, our General Secretary, said about why we created the Ukcena is because while we were at uni, most of us here, if you ask us a question, or even other members within Ukcena, if you ask them a question while they were at uni or where they are working just now, they'll tell you that I was the only Congolese in my class. Out of a class of 150 people or 200 people, I was the only Congolese. Also, where I'm working now, even I myself, the only Congolese where I'm working in my company, if not the only black person, if I can say that. So that's that narrative that we want to change. That's what we want to change. We want to empower. We want to encourage more young people within our community to study STEM. Also, women, our young ladies, our young sisters, to be involved within the STEM, to study technology, to study science, to study engineering, because we need them. We need them, and this is what we want to do. Hence, why I made that call within my colleague here to come together and create this platform that can actually do something to change our community as well as our country tomorrow.
Honestly, this is quite inspiring to hear what you just said. It's quite inspiring because the statistic shows that it's only 80% of ethnic minorities who actually do STEM subject. This is really, really low. If we say 80%, that includes Asian and all they are including in all those 8 ethnic minorities. So if we have to narrow it down to only Congolese, I don't even know what's the percentages. So this is quite important because some people have to start something in order to inspire others. And this is quite important. If there is someone watching us, please share the link with someone, because what we are discussing here, even your son, your daughter might get inspired. It's quite important. Please share the link. So I'm going to move on to another question. So what are you doing at the moment as a platform? With, are you in contact with other engineers back home in Congo, or is only Ukcena is only here based in England, or are you expanding to Congo or other countries in Europe, other Congolese somewhere? Oh.
Yes, we are in contact with other engineers in Congo. The vision of Ukcena is actually to go worldwide.
Okay.
So we started UK. The reason we put UK at the front, because we are here regional.
Okay.
And then we have to take that across Europe. And right now we are in the DRC. So training other 24 or 25 engineers that are in diverse activity, such as recycling of waste material, organic and inorganic materials, to build like the pavement, to build roads. Apart from that, we are encouraging as well other engineers that live, for instance, in other countries such as France to join the platform. And then from that, we will expand across Europe. That's the idea beyond. But over here in the UK, we still have a lot of work. As you can know, we have more engineers that are not part of our platform. So it's important to have senior engineer in retirement to join our platform, student engineers, our aspiring engineer to come along so we can build a solid platform. That is our missions.
Wonderful. I'm so impressed to hear things like this. To be honest, I cannot emphasize this enough to all our viewers. But there's one question that comes to my mind. I'm going to ask this question to Engineer Patrick, because we came from a French-speaking background. So coming here in UK, what are the challenges that you guys encountered in terms of educations and becoming engineers? Because that can inspire someone. Might be someone are watching us right now, and they're asking themselves, they would like to become engineers, but maybe English is not their first language. So what was your challenges, basically? And how did you overcome those challenges to become an engineer today?
Right. So I joined Ukcena when the platform was already established. It wasn't that old, but it was established before I joined then. I'm one of the people that were inspired to join because I saw what Engineer Giras, Engineer Kasai were doing, you know,
Yeah.
what the vision was to get the word out in the Congolese community with, you know, Black and minority ethnics about learning about what STEM is and the opportunities that there are in there. And that's why I think also the platform is really important for this point you've just raised.
Yeah.
There's obviously different generations that have, you know, come and have had different struggles. So for my generation, for example, I came to the UK at the age of 11. And I would say I had it a little bit easier than all the generations that have come. But the challenges that I had were, you know, learning the language, learning what the culture is here, you know, how things work here, what are the system in the work industry. The reason why I went into engineering was because of my father, and he was an engineer and he knew about engineering. But in the Congolese community as a whole, engineering wasn't really a regular topic. People didn't really know what it is, you know. The exposure is like, you know, you have gas engineer comes home, fix the gas, the water engineer. So parents especially might not understand what an engineer is, you know, and the heights that you can reach as an engineer, you know, in petroleum, in civil, in mechanical. So there's, I think with regards to the language, and that's why also I think this platform is so important, because we can support each other, you know, and we obviously Congolese, we speak, plenty of people speak French, Lingala, and we try to help people with doing CVs, applications, and things like that. Yeah. And I think I can pass on to my colleagues as well. They can talk a bit more about the challenges
that's really good, because this is question that it can go, it does apply to everyone. So, Engineer Kasai, what were your challenges? If you can tell someone, because there is some one young person is watching you right now, you might be inspired by your experience. This is quite important. Can you share?
Yes, so even speaking now, I have this strong kind of like French accent. So you can just tell like English is not my language. But another thing with me, I've never been good at any languages. So I am more like a mathematics, science, speak well. So literature never be a subject, a strength for me. So I can tell probably kind of dyslexic. I don't know, when it comes to languages, it's not just English or French or even my own languages. I never really speak any language correctly. So the challenge is huge when you go to engineering. But the good thing with engineering or any STEM subject, it doesn't really require for you to speak or to hear any language. It's universal. It's based and build the architecture of engineering is based and build of understanding formulas. And when you see formulas, they are pictograms. That's the beauty about that, because I'm very good at memorize images and sign, and most of the formula are kind of codings, you know, they are just alphabetic letters. And that attract me more, and that gave me courage to say, okay, despite of my challenges when it comes to language, I can achieve going through engineering, because it's more about coding, it's about symbols, it's about the language. It were not really complicated for me. So this is actually, it's not just the English, but it's the language and the grammar. I really struggle with that. In any language, I would have struggled. Whether I was in the Congo, I could not go like doing literature or any form of activities, because it was a challenge for me. But science were really something that speak to me easily. I could have done any formula, draw any line without any difficulties than doing literatures or expressing myself in other form or languages.
Thank you very much. I'm going to ask you the same question as to Engineer Giras. If you go,
I think on that question, actually, it's really important that we underline this. But I'm going to go back a little bit on why you started with Engineer Mbaya in asking the challenges that we had in our community and how did we get into studying engineering. Because I myself, I grew up in Birmingham. This is a huge city, and within my community in Birmingham, when I was growing up, when I was going to school or going to college, I didn't have, if I may say, role model. Or like we say today, tonton and auntie, tonton but tantine, who I knew around my community who was studying engineering, for example, where I could go and ask for advice or guidance in engineering, or or what I wanted to do, what I wanted to become as a petroleum engineer. I didn't know nobody that was doing that around Birmingham. That's a challenge number one. Challenge number two is not having a platform like Ukcena within our community. So that was a big challenge, because what we're doing here today is giving an opportunity to the next generation, to our community, where they can actually come in any type. We have, I can assure you that within Ukcena, we have all type of engineers. So this is an amazing thing to have in a community, not just Birmingham or London or Manchester, the whole UK, or even in the diaspora. There might be someone else watching us, I don't know, maybe in Canada, maybe in US or in France, anywhere. This is a platform where you can actually get in touch and ask for guidance, ask for advice for any type of engineering that you want to study. Even for parents, they can get in touch with us. If you have young kids, you have our young brothers and sisters, and you want them to study any course in engineering, you have Ukcena. You have a platform that can actually guide and support this young generation to go into a career into STEM. So those are the two challenges: not having role models and not having a platform within the community where you can go and get guidance. Those was the major two challenges for myself. So somehow having educated parents helped a little bit, because they can actually give you a few advice, and you work hard yourself and we make it up. But we don't want to be selfish. Now that we've studied, now that we are working into those engineering sectors, we don't want to keep it for ourselves. We want to give it back to the community. That's the beauty of Ukcena. But in terms of language, I think coming from the French-speaking country, where you maybe been learning in Lingala, French, or Kikongo, Swahili, or Chiluba, is always going to be a challenge. But the good thing is, just like Engineer Kasai mentioned today, is that with engineering or with science, it's how can I say,
Is it practical?
There's no, see, mathematics is mathematics. Even if you start that in Kikongo, n plus 1, 1 plus 1 is always going to remain. It's always going to remain the same
wherever you go.
Wherever you go. So actually, to study engineering is not as difficult as people think it is. Let me say this today here. To study engineering is not as difficult as many people think. What scares a lot of people, or even a lot of women, our young sisters, or even our young brothers out there, they think to study engineering, you need to be a type of genius. No, you just need to have the basic understanding of formulas, like Engineer Kasai said, and principles of engineering. Once you understand that, once you have those understanding of the basic principles of engineering, to be an engineer is very simple. But the benefits of being an engineering is huge. Is one of the best paid career, guys, that you guys can get in. If you're an engineer, it's one of the best paid career that you guys maybe don't understand. You just scared of engineering from far. Engineer, it's too difficult. Engineering, science is too difficult. But if you actually show some love to engineering, you show some love to those principles, and like we say, you show some love to maths, you show some love to engineering, engineering will show some love back to you.
Wonderful. That is quite important, But I'm going to have to ask you questions again. There is not on languages, but on maths, because we're talking about STEM here. STEM, science, technology, engineering, and maths. And all those sciences, there is a bit of maths that goes in. So I did a research myself at Warwick University on what we call maths anxiety. So there are so many people out there, just like you say, they've got wrong perceptions about maths. And they're scared of maths just from distance. They don't want to embrace it. And when I was doing my research, and we came to find out, many women, they are scared of math without even trying to do it. And that applies even to many people out there. That's why they don't want to go into engineering right now. So how did you yourself, did you encounter any difficulties like that when it comes to maths? And what advice can you give to someone out there, any young person watching you now? How can you advise when it comes to maths or anything like that? Because according to statistics, it shows that every student who achieve high score in maths, they earn more in real life, and also they contribute even more than twice as much to the economy than those who have achieved lower score in maths. So it's quite important. I would like you, because you have achieved and you've done what you've done so far, and this platform, it become a reference to the next generations. What advice can you give to a young person who's watching right now, how to love math and how to even conquer that anxiety when it comes to maths? Is anyone, that applies to anyone, whoever is free to talk, just answer to that question.
For myself, one of the main points I want to get across is, like engineer Gio said, it's more the culture and the, I don't know if it's the culture around it, the perception of it, that maths is incredibly difficult. You know, that, you know, you have to, you know, from 5 years old, you have to already be doing formulas. And it's really not the case. Like, to start off with, it's like maths, like any other subject generally, is something that requires a bit of effort, like, and consistency. Like, if you're consistent with it. So sometimes, and I would say, I would go to say every single person struggles with maths at some point. Everyone, even in the profession, any engineer, any mathematician have struggled, you know, to grasp the concept of mathematics. And it's the perseverance that's got them to a certain level to be like, oh, these things, now they've reached to understand this one, they move on to the next. And also there's different levels of mathematics required in different fields. Absolutely. That's the other one. Yeah. So you don't need to know further maths and advanced maths for every single engineering field. There's, you know, some fields you get to a level of maths and then you involve other things. So for myself, there was a bit of maths included in civil engineering for calculating loads and things like that. But again, it's just systematic understanding, you know, why do we apply this? How do we apply it? So that's what I would say in terms of, you know, it's more of a culture around it and the fear around the idea of, you know, this is difficult. But I think we're only looking at the top mathematicians, and we're applying it to all of it. And just a point before I pass, and like STEM subjects as well, or engineering subjects, they branch out into so many things. Yeah. Like after you've studied, you know, when I did civil engineer, for example, I could have gone into finance if I wanted to, you know, I could have transitioned into technology or into, so not only is it a really good profession to go into and to start with, but once you've studied and reached a certain, you know, you've had a degree in it, or you reach a certain level in your education, you can branch out to something else, because those skills are very, very transferable. Wow. To other fields.
This is quite amazing, because of time, we are not going really to spend too much time on this, and because Ukcena is already existed for everyone who's watching us. If you need further details, information, if you want your son, your daughter to be helped by this engineer here, please get in touch. There are so many things they can help, and they can really guide your children, they can guide them in the right directions. But we're gonna have to move on because we've got a lot of things to talk about. But I would like to ask, first of all, questions about what have you achieved so far as a Ukcena before we need to go back to what we have done so far, and also to think about if we have any plan coming up. But let's talk first of all about what we have done so far in 3 years of Ukcena existence.
So, si je peux répondre à propos de math anxiety, seulement de brosser, this is my personal experience. So, I used to be very good at math. It can be genetic, past, depend on what for your environment. But I become excellent in math the day I understood the Congolese background about mathematics and their contribution. The day I learned about Los Dishango, everything changed in my life. Okay. Congolese Ishango is a part in the DRC Congo. And Los Dichango is used in the most complex mathematics in economy.
Okay.
And when I learned that, j'étais peut-être premier des humanités. Je me suis approprié de l'histoire. And that become my strength.
Change your conceptions.
Change totally.
Wonderful.
C'est ça que tu vas voir, l'enfant chinois va se considérer good in math, even if it's not good. C'est ça que tu vas comprendre. Les Iraniens se trouvent qu'ils sont bons en mathématiques parce que c'est Babylone. Alors, les Congolais doivent se puiser de leurs ancêtres, de leurs connaissances, de leur contribution dans la mathématique. Et ça va empower the entire nation.
Wonderful.
Là, c'est ma petite histoire à propos des mathématiques.
Wonderful.
Now, as Ukcena, what we achieve for these 3 years, we achieve amazing workshop. Les ateliers que Ukcena put, c'est standard. Very standard, where we stimulate the knowledge of young people in all forms of engineering. For designing a dam, to build an electric circuit, and we challenge them as well to capture carbon dioxide. Those are the elements, ce sont des sujets qui sont en cours à ce moment. We design in those workshops the exercise that will actually attract young Congolese to look at engineering not as a challenging sector, but as a welcoming. Like where they can build a robot, programming, look at cell, what actually they can build as a civil engineer or mining engineer or petroleum engineers.
Wow.
So apart those workshops, Ukcena has managed to design a smart farming. In that smart farming in Loughborough, we are designing the first aquaponic that will tackle food insecurity, will provide food within the community, and as well, the aquaponic is in terms of water management, where we have the fish tank. The waste for the fish are sent to the vegetables or salad. The salad will extract the nutrient from the waste of the fish and then leave to recirculate pure water to the fish tank.
Wow.
Yeah.
That's amazing.
Yeah.
Honestly, I really... Are you going to be able to explain this?
Yes.
In French or Lingala?
Oui.
I would like someone to understand this.
Oui.
Please, can you explain that project?
Le
what you've
projet
already
de
done?
Smart Farming, c'est que nous sommes en train de design actuellement à Loughborough. C'est un système qu'on appelle ça aquaponique. L'aquaponique, c'est là où on a l'étang de poissons. Et parce que dans les étangs de poissons, ce qui consomme beaucoup, c'est le gaspillage d'eau. Alors, il faut ne pas avoir ce gaspillage d'eau. Ce qu'on fait, on prend de l'eau de poisson qui a des déchets. Ces déchets sont riches en nutriments. Ces nutriments, c'est ce que les plantes ont besoin pour survivre. Alors, on pompe de l'eau dans les légumes. Les légumes vont sucer de ces nutriments et dépourvu l'eau qui est déjà plus ou moins polluée de ces nutriments, laisser l'eau qui va rentrer dans la circulation des étangs de poissons plus claire et plus pure.
Mais ça c'est génial. Ça, c'est vraiment génial.
Oui.
Je sais que quelqu'un qui est en train de suivre maintenant est inspiré.
À part ça, ça c'est seulement un aspect de Ukcena. Nous sommes aussi en train d'entraîner les jeunes au niveau du pays. Là, ils sont en train de construire une cité écologique à l'aide des terres battues. Vraiment. Donc, nous savons qu'il y a un problème sérieux si nous devons reconstruire notre pays le plus vite possible, le problème de l'infrastructure. Et nous ne pouvons pas partir avec des prétentions qu'on peut toujours faire avec les produits industriels. Alors, nous devons taper dans notre potentiel local, notamment la terre battue. Nous sommes en train de construire au niveau d'Nsele. Et on a aussi d'autres projets de purification d'eau au niveau du pays en utilisant le carbone actif. Ça va permettre aussi aux locaux d'avoir de l'eau pure à partir des puits de forage.
This is going to lead me to another question right now, Engineer Juras. This is quite inspiring and this is quite important because you got that project right there in Congo. Vous avez ce projet sur place au Congo. Est-ce qu'il y a un lien? Is there any link with Congo government, or you got any people in power who know Ukcena? Because this is quite important. I don't know if you got any link. Can you share about it? Maybe if you don't, this is a platform that you can even call. You know, pass on that invitation to someone, because this is important.
Yes, thank you for that question, Baba Mike. I think it's a really important question. Like Engineer Kasai, our sage, mentioned all the project that we've been doing. In terms of the link, if we have any link, any important people, any link within the government in Congo, no, I don't think we do have any link within any member of the government, because this is a young Congolese engineers group from the UK who have no connection with any member of the government. But however, I must admit that our ambassador, our DRC ambassador in the UK, since his I think he was nominated a few months ago, or sometime last year. As soon as he came into the UK, he heard about us, and he's been really interested. He's keeping a good contact with us in terms of what we're doing. And I think he is interested on one of the projects that we're doing here. That our Serge Kasai just mentioned, the construction, the sustainable construction city that we're doing in Sele. But in terms of the government, no, we don't have any contact. But we would like to get some support, especially with the project that we're doing back home in Congo. I think we are okay with what we're doing here in the UK in terms of our project that we're doing here in the UK and the workshop that we do, all the activities. But I think in terms of the project that we're doing back home, it's I think we do need some sort of support. Yes, that's what I can say.
That's important. That's really important. En tout cas, je suis en train de lancer cet appel au gouvernement, aux gens qui sont en position d'autorité au pays. Ça, ce sont des projets vraiment louables, des projets que les gouvernements, même le pays, peut bénéficier. Si vous pouvez vraiment, s'il vous plaît, contacter ces jeunes gens, ils ont de quoi à offrir au pays qui peut vraiment faire avancer le pays. Wow, this is really important. So I would like to move on to something else right now, because you've mentioned about so many things we've achieved so far as Ukcena. So what is it, any plan that you have in mind that is coming up soon, or you've got anything that you still as a project here in UK or back home, anything? If you've got any plan, can you share it, because someone might be interested at this point?
Yes, I think that's one of the reasons why we also came to this we came this evening to this show, to this talk, is about not just presenting ourselves, what Ukcena is, and introducing ourselves to the population, but is also to launch publicly and officially a conference that we organizing here in London in April, Saturday the 6th of April. So we organizing a big conference with the title of Education and Development. So that's one of our main upcoming events. We might also have a workshop. We also have a workshop on the 23rd of March here in London.
Okay.
But the main event, I think we can give details if required. I think we can use the opportunity to give details of the workshop that we'll do on the 23rd of March. But the big event, the big conference, the big call that we're making here is for the conference on Saturday the 6th of London. I'm not sure if J. Mike have the leaflet. I think he can help us to display that, and we can give more details regarding the conference.
Wonderful. I think I'm gonna give an opportunity to Engineer Kasai. Olobelango na lingala. Mon conférence oyo. Parce que cette conférence moko munene oyo ko réunir tuzolinga batu nyonso bazala wana le 6 avril. Ce qui message wana parce que ça na bande comme ça bazolanda biso, on a besoin eloba mapena na lingala pour eleka bien, pour mutu nyonso ayeba. Et puis na lingi pena loba na tuna pe question en même temps par rapport na conférence ndengezo ya wana. Oiza plateforme ya ingénieur. est-ce que vous avez un contact moko dans le secteur mususu? Parce que vous avez un intellectuel mususu, comme un médecin bazali, juriste bazali, tout ça. Est-ce que vous avez un contact dans le pour que la plateforme oyo et vimba quoi dans le sens c'est juste au répondre na wana au PCP message pour la conférence.
Yeah. Merci à toza na contact et tozo essayer ko forger ba contact na ba plateforme ya bande kuna biso nyonso, que ça soit dans le secteur ya business, dans le secteur médical, il y a sciences infirmerie et dans le secteur il y a biotech. Donc bino oyo boza ba congolais boya kosangana na biso parce que on a besoin na mayele na bino pour nato avancer. Ezana ba place mususu tozali limité, to bengi pe bande konabiso ba juriste, ba avocat na bande konabiso ba accountants. Na koki ko pesa expérience moko to bandi kotonga, to bandi Ukcena to réaliser ki rapidement importance a kozana bande ko accountant. Parce que bangonde bako salisa biso ko kende ndenge nini compagnie il faut tellement ndenge nini ba document il faut ezala ndenge nini il faut kosala ba rapport annuel. Alors biso tozo benga bino boya kosangana na biso na jourana pona network eleka malamu. Ya pona message ya conférence le 6 avril boya mingi ba papa ba mama bana boya elongo na biso pona to sala conférence oyo ekezala partage intellectuel oyo ekesunga biso na bino pona toyeba ba besoin na bino ndenge nini Ukcena ekoki kosunga bino e ndenge nini tokoki ko pénétrer secteur oyo ya ingénieur. Ezali te secteur moko fantôme, ezali te compliqué soki biso tozana tolinga to passer ba bâton na nouvelle génération. Merci toko sepela mingi soki boye elongo na biso le 6 avril 2024 et kezala na UCL Torrington Building. Merci.
Alors, en tout cas, merci beaucoup, ingénieur Kasai. Na message wana olekisi. Na kolinga ingénieur Patrick sa ko le bango en anglais, puisque kolekisa message wana lisusu invité bandeko nyonso pona milolo ya le 6 avril oyo toza kobongisa. Est-ce que boko ki kope sa message wana? Can you pass on the message in English? That would be better.
Yeah, just to add on to engineer, basically saying the same thing. Like, please pass the word along. Like we said, Saturday the 6th of April, and we will be, launching the leaflet soon with all the information, location, and times and everything. But pass the message along. The Ukcena, is obviously holding a conference, and we want everyone in our community to come along and attend and see what we're about and what we're trying to achieve. And like we said, education is obviously very important. We want everyone in all fields, like you said, accountants, lawyers, and people in the medicine field. Obviously we're centered around engineering, but we're trying to grow the presence of Congolese, the Congolese in the professional field, and having groups like this where we can help the younger generation. Like we see at workshops how they're really interested in and curious about what we're doing, curious with the experiments and things. And that's how we open the minds of everyone to sort of grow and see, find their interests, in engineering. We have a lot of intelligent people in our community, especially our young sisters that we encourage really to look at engineering, because there's a cultural aspect as well, which is a bit limited, where it's seen as if engineering is only for men, and I think that's partly also not understanding the full scope of engineering. But I have plenty of intelligent sisters, that have such potential, but they're limited by whether it's their surroundings, their parents, and things like that. Really encourage like young children and parents to come as well to get more informed about engineering. So that's what I would say.
That's amazing. Nalingina tuna question na lingala et pas ingénieur Gires. Est-ce que tu as une idée? Il y a invité au Barozala wana et puis moi idée comment est-ce que conférence wana Barozala et mutuo azolanda biso soka yé a bénéficier na iloko nini a s'attendre na iloko nini mukolongo.
Ouais, thank you pour la question, Papa Mike. Naloba la lingala to na anglais. Na lingala.
Lingala po yoka.
Ok. Yes, thank you pour la question. Je pense que la conférence, d'abord, titre nango est sur éducation et développement. Donc, né yango titre, il y a conférence nabiso. Alors, sous-titre auto ko développer na kati ya titre ya munene auto bengi éducation na développement. Ezali boye to lingi to sala na numéro 1, donc to lingi to solo là, auto bengi the state of our diaspora. Donc, diaspora na biso na UK, na niveau éducation, na développement, ils ont un niveau nini. Et puis, au numéro 2, toko solo là, comment toko ki construire diaspora moko ezali dynamique et puis comment professionnel. Donc, na ba domaine oyo bandeko ba uti koloba a. Alors, de temps en temps, tango to sala ka ba workshop na biso, ba télé na biso, ezala kaka po na biso ba ingénieur, ba da science et tout ça. Toujours ça, l'activité, il y a ingénierie, il y a science, il y a technologie, ainsi de suite. Mais cette fois-ci, avec la conférence où il y a éducation et développement, pour nous discuter du topic où on a eu koloba awa, toko sala ngo kakate pour na biso ba ingénieur. Toko sala yango avec bandeko ya ba domaine mususu. Donc tout ça la bandeko ya ba médecin, donc to bengisi bandeko na biso ya ba medical doctors, donc bandeko ba médecin, to bengisi bandeko na biso ya ba nurse nyoso na UK. To bengisi pe bandeko na biso o baza ma secteur ya banking and finance, to bengisi bandeko oyo baza na domaine ya enseignement, donc ba lecturer and teachers, to bengisi pe bandeko oyo baza na même na ba domaine mususu neti ya legal o justice, donc ba lawyers, to bengisi bandeko wana bango bakozala lokola ba paneliste na kati ya conférence wana. Alors en termes des invités, je pense que ndenge bozomona déjà na bilili na régie kuna. Toza na ambassadeur na biso pe ya Grande-Bretagne, oyo ya ambassadeur na biso plutôt ya RDC na Grande-Bretagne, oyo asali biso en air akozala moko ya ba guest speakers na biso ba guest of honors ye akozala wana pe et tant que professionnel aussi ya ba moko ya ba domaine oyo tolobeli awa à part kozala diplomate, à part kozala politicien, mais aza moko ya ba professionnel ya ba domaine ototangi awa. Alors ya kosala biso honneur na mukolo wana pona kozala moko ya ba speakers na biso na conférence. Tozali pe boye. Alors si ba professionnel to bengisi ba domaine nyonso, ceux qui nani mususu tokoki ko bengisa, ceux qui za mama Deborah Kayembete, oyo azali docteur et puis rectrice à l'université munene ya Edimbourg, première femme de couleur depuis université, le prestigieux université à Édimbourg et Salaman en 1654 et 53 recteur Baleka à la tête de cette université et il y a 54e recteur Yakokoma mokonzi na université wana et puis la première femme de couleur Yakozala mokonzi na université wana. Donc il y a asali biso honneur yakoya na mokolo wana na conférence pour na kosolo la paix na bandeko na kati ya communauté. Toza pe na bandeko mususu ya baloya toza na bandeko mususu ya ba lecturer o to bombeli bino ba surprise ebele vraiment ba papa na ba mama boya ebele pour na ko participer na conférence wana ba mama boya koyoka oyo nini biso bana na bino to bombeli bino oyo nini bandeko mususu baza na kati ya communauté ya ba professionnel ba bombeli bino comment ba koki kosunga bino ba parents et puis comment ba koki kosunga surtout bana o ya bino donc ba leki na biso pour ba développer na kati ya ba domaine ya éducation pe na kati ya ba carrière na bango. Donc to bengisi bino vraiment ba adresse ezali wana na ba leaflet bozo mona yango ba numéro de contact pe ezali wana si vous avez besoin ya ko contacter biso pour na plus de détails en tout cas n'hésitez pas à contacter ngai moko pe nazali awa Jires Masamba, je suis le président ya Ukcena. Donc il y a organisation na biso ya ba ingénieur congolais ba numéro ezali wana secrétaire général na biso pa zali wana ingénieur Mbaya zali pe bandeko mususu donc bo contacter biso mais sinon toza vraiment welcome bino nyoso na journée wana ya le 6 avril.
En tout cas, vraiment c'est bien dit et expliquer ma nyoso vraiment bien ingénieur Jires. Na éviter na lobanini na lingi na encourager kaka ba parents na lingi na encourager ba jeunes na lingi na encourager communauté mobimba communauté congolaise. Ça c'est une opportunité pour nabiso et c'est le comme nene karandengi balobaka la masse ne réfléchit pas. Il y a toujours un groupe de gens o ba se retiraka ba réfléchir et puis ba ye na tour na bango ko faire réfléchir la masse. Et c'est ce qui est en train de se faire. Et ça eloko ma mutuya ya munene oyo ba mayele e ko kutana pona kobimisa eloko ya malamu makasi. Nga kutu nazo kanisa eloko nazo lancer même appel et puis même ya ambassadeur pour toza basé en Angleterre, toza na ba communauté partout en Angleterre, na ba ville nyonso. Est-ce que ekoza la possibilité to créer même groupe moko, ata groupe chat moko, o eza ko réunir tous les Congolais na kati. O eza groupe neti plateforme neti to lo ba LinkedIn. LinkedIn. Omoni eloko wana LinkedIn eza place oyo, eza plateforme oyo ba professionnel ba kutanaka wana, ba opportunité misala esalamaka wana, mais nous avons des intellectuels bato ya bwane, bato ya mayele na kati na mboko ya UK, mais ebele baza ko évoluer en solo. Ce qui plateforme moko ya bongo ekozala eza te ke eza na coloration moko politique te, mais eza plateforme oyo mutu soki aza na opportunité musala komona information moko utile bazo partager yango wana. Congolais nyonso na UK place azali akoki kozala inspiré na place wana. Ata même information moko utile ya université eloko nyonso ya genre wana plateforme moko ya bongo soki ambassadeur akoki ko créer loko na parce que azan contact na ba leader ba communauté ya ba mboka nyonso. Soki eloko moko bongo salami les informations utiles les autres à la partager place wana. Parce que makambo eza vraiment ya mutuya. Et le 6 avril wana nazo lingana ebisa yondeko ozolanda biso lekisa message wana pas bato nyonso. Bengisa ba parents boya soko ozala omitunaka ba question ndenge nini système éducatif ya mboko etambolaka. Ya école primaire, ya collège, ya université, ya niveau nyonso bato wana oyo bazosala na ba domaine wana bakozala place wana okutuna question na yo pe ozwa yano. C'est très important ozala wana. Ndalingi naloba makambo mpe na Swahili. Banduku yetu bote kwenye munatufuata na hii conférence yetu na hii batoto yetu ba jeune yetu ya communauté beko na organiser le 6 avril. Nous on a lancé un message pour bantu yote mukuye mulise ma question, mukuye mupate inspiration parce que tout on a vraiment dans vie tu as mingi on ne sait pas comment faire. Mais ma conférence est une âme avec des personnalités une âme c'est une opportunité pour tout le monde. Mukouye, et puis poser des questions pour qu'ensemble, tu relever ma défi. Honestly, I'm so happy. I don't know. We are actually going to the end of the program, but I'm just going to give us opportunity. If there is anything that we missed, and you'd like maybe to Adam, that is going to be an opportunity to pass down. Okay, so you can feel free if you want to say in English, you want to say that in French, Lingala, feel free to pass on that message. So I'm going to start with Engineer Kasai.
Yeah, merci vraiment de nous avoir accueillis ici. Message toujours passé na bande konabiso, bazali aspiring engineer, bozali na classe GCC, bozana ba struggle, homework, bokoki ko contacter Ukcena, tozana collège ya ba ingénieur bakoki ko assister bino na tout ba module oyo ezali na classe. Komi na niveau akokoma ba personal statement na bango, bokoki pe ko contacter Ukcena akoki ko review ba personal statement na bino. Oyo bazwite ba point pona bakende na nzela ya université, Ukcena ezali plateforme oyo koki ko mema bino na nzela ya apprenticeship. Tozana ba amazing ingénieur o bazo travailler na place mususu carrière na bango ezalaki na nzela ya apprenticeship. Donc Ukcena ezali place oyo bokoki ko zwa ba information comment kokoma ingénieur. Ezatika nzela université, ezape nzela ya research based na pratique. Donc bo contacter Ukcena. Pour la conférence, première conférence na biso tozo organisé, bino nyonso bozali welcome, ezali ndaku na bino boya to partager ango to sangisa mayele pour na totonga mboka ya makasi. Merci.
Oh, thank you very much. Thank you. Merci beaucoup, ingénieur Kasai. Ingénieur Patrick, if you got something to add that you think is important, feel free to say that.
No problem. On a tout dit vraiment. Je veux vraiment encourager nos jeunes frères et sœurs. Vraiment vous encourager de regardez, cherchez l'ingénierie. You know, research engineering, look into it. There's a lot of fields in there. You know, there's a lot that you can choose from. Like we said, it's not limited to just civils, mechanical, petroleum. There's a wide scope there. And look us up on social media. We're on Instagram, Facebook, we're on LinkedIn as well, where we update information about what we're doing, what our next plans and things like that, and keep up to date with that. And like we said, we have details. You can contact us through there, and you can get in touch with a specific engineer within the group if you need any help or assistance. Like we said, there's different routes to engineering. There's through studying, through apprenticeships. So whatever your strength is, like there's really room for, you know, for development in any which way you like. So like we said, I joined while I was inspired to see what the engineers were putting together and the vision, like of the potential future that we can to have a strong community, you know, strong link within the Congolese community of professionals in different fields. So, and it's a platform that a lot of, like engineers just said, when we were younger, we didn't have people that we can look to and ask, people that look like us, that speak like us, you know, that we can go and say, how did you find it? You know, what did you do? You know, what do you think about this? You know, I have this problem, and someone can talk you through it. As you said, we have a big group. So that's what I would say. I would encourage the youngsters to really, you know, research it, and, you know, bring your parents along so they can be informed as well, and support you in your choice. So that's what I would say.
Wow, thank you very much, Engineer Patrick. Honestly, thank you very much. Engineer Jures, so you've got also an opportunity. Dans le bango, atana Kikongo, so moi ezali moi, mon message est le Kikongo, et ça la bien.
Bon. Je vais essayer. Mais bon, premièrement, d'abord, merci pour l'état. Merci na Jemai ko ya bibiso na studio awa. Donc, on ne peut pas passer ça toutefois pour remercier. Et aussi, merci na yo ingénieur Mike, papa Mike. Oyo ka bibiso na poko alelo, ya bibiso na plateau na poko alelo. En tout cas, te remercier bino mingi pour na temps bo disposer. Et puis pour na intérêt oyo bozali ko pesa na plateforme na bino. Ya biso ba jeune ba congolais, il y a une plateforme na biso nyonso. Alors, premièrement, d'abord, nalinga qui n'a lancé d'abord message moko oizali très important pour na biso ba jeune, et puis pour na balé qui na biso pour na bana na biso na kati ya communauté. Et conférence autour ça lango mingi pour na bino. Pas seulement pour nos parents, mais c'est surtout pour vous les jeunes, pour nous les jeunes. Donc ceux qui ba parents bozana bana, en tout cas, bon encourager bana ba ya na conférence oyo. Parce que ils a pas seulement pour na engineering, mais ndenge boyo ki to lobi awa to bengisi pe ba professionnel plutôt ya ba domaine mususu. Donc ata ceux qui mwana azalaka intéressé à kotanga engineering té, mais ceux qui pas azalaka intéressé à kosala peut-être nursing, à kosala comme médecin, à comme docteur, à comme enseignant, à comme eloko nyoso alingi kokoma to kozala na ba professionnel ebele et congolais na conférence wana. Donc eza opportunité moko malamu pour na ba jeune boya pour na bon network. Eza opportunité moko ya munene boya pour na bon network. Parce que papa Mike lo comment to lobité awa na pourquoi. To na Ukcena to zwaka to supportaka to supportaka seulement te kaka ba jeune gens pour batanga engineering. Mais to edaka bango pe kozwa misala.
Wow.
To edaka bango pe kozwa misala. Ingénieur Kassa, il est ici présent. L'année passée, on avait amené une groupe et il y a des jeunes congolais, je pense avec vous-même, dans cette délégation, en tout cas, qui n'a plus d'ABUC, et tout le monde qui, bon, peut-être, qui une bonne nombre, il y a des jeunes congolais, et parmi eux, ils ont bazu misala kuna, bazu ba internship, bazu ba placement, bazu makambo belé. Donc tout ça la capé ba recommandation, ya misala na bisika o tout ça la ceux qui bazo recruter par exemple et que yozo luka musala oza ingénieur parce que ça ba ingénieur belé aussi baza awa na kati ya communauté na biso, o bazo luka misala. Donc ceux qui bazo na misala te beaucoup qui koya na Ukcena pour bon network et to koki kotala comment to koki ko support bino na ba application ya misala na ba exercice ou na ba technique. Il y a qu'à passer par interview, il y a qu'à passer par assessment, ou par sa community test. Donc, on a un message on a qui n'a passé, c'est très important. Parce que biso ba jeune, na lobaka eloko toutefois papa Mike. Ba papa na biso ba yaki awa na mboka oyo, ba sali o bango ba koke ko sala. Ba bengisi biso bana, majorité ya bana tozala ba mboko oyo to na ba o to bengaka ba regroupement familial. Maintenant la question c'est à nous les jeunes. À nous les jeunes, oyo ba parents on a ba bengisi na mboka oyo toye. Qu'est-ce que nous faisons?
Come on.
Na ba effort oyo ba papa na biso basali na ba maman na biso basali, ou ba bengisa biso na mboka oyo. Parce que to lobi pe likambo éducation. Il y a un titre à conférence na biso le 6 avril. Nous savons tous qu'au niveau du pays, éducation est vraiment un koufa dans les 20-25 ans années passées. Maintenant, biso bana oyo toza na mboka oyo. Place éducation, bah système ya enseignement et ya malam. Qu'est-ce que nous sommes en train de faire? Est-ce que tozo saisir ba opportunité wana ya kotanga ba classe à malamu, ya kosala ba carrière à malamu, poto koma bata malunga na vie, pour lobby aider ba communauté na biso, ba famille na biso, pour aider mboka na biso. Boya to solo là. Et loko suka papa Mike na kosukisa, na ko lancer appel na ba ingénieur congolais mususu oyo baza libanda ya Ukcena. Ceux qui botali biso partout bisika bozali, ceux qui boza en Grande-Bretagne, ceux qui bozali na bamboka pe ya libanda ba France, ba Belgique partout parce que notre vision aussi eza ya ko garder Ukcena te kaka na UK parce que yango ne to benga ngo Ukcena po to bandaki yango na UK. Mais loko la vision ezali pe organisation et comme intéressant et comment libanda et international. Donc tokoki pe kozala na France Sénat, tokoki kozala na Belgique Sénat, Allemagne Sénat, Canada Sénat, pourquoi pas. Donc ceux qui sont na bandeko ba ingénieur oyo pe bozolanda biso na libanda kuna na libanda ya Grande-Bretagne, bo contacter biso totala comment tokoki kocha mayele ensemble, comment tokoki ko développer plateforme oyo. Donc voilà un peu le peu que je peux conclure avec. Vraiment bandeko oyo boza ba ingénieur mais boza na UK nan je rejoindre lingoma na biso te. Donc ba contact na biso ezawana bo contacter biso pour te ba comment tokoki ko sangisa mayele na biso ensemble pour te développer communauté na biso pour lobby peut développer mboka na biso. Merci beaucoup.
Wow, très important. Vraiment, naïbité, moko alandi biso a sepeli pe azub information et sengeli, c'est quelque chose vraiment ya ko encourager. Ngai na kuiko koloba bo izaka pona ba jeune kakate, plateforme ezaka pona ba jeune te, deka ingénieur kasa ya lobaki ne bandeli, même ba retraité, même bato ba koli déjà, on a besoin ko apporter un plus. Et ça vraiment important ko beaucoup qui se connecter, joindre un peu plateforme et je pense que je suis le plus âgé dans la plateforme na katia Ukcena pour nga ingénieur. Donc on encourage tous les ingénieurs partout et aux amalam soto s'associer bongo et au sala eloko malam parce que développement ya mboka et les kaka na makambo et ça vraiment important et salanga pasi makasi. On a eu une période moko polytechnique, département de Kangamaka parce qu'il y avait carence, il y avait professeur. Mais pendant que tous en abattu, ebele au bazar ya boanya, on peut apporter quelque chose dans Mboka. Mais si et seulement si to sangani de to sala force ya makasi. Vraiment plateforme OEZ lokwa mutuya et puis conférence on a les 6 nazo senga na yo parents na yo senga na yo lisusu jeune ozolanda biso yaka wana tuna question orozala inspiré dans makambo ekoloba mawana eza pona éducation pe développement. En tout cas, this is what I can say at this point of time. Na ngena senga biso merci bino nyoso bolandaki biso. En tout cas, merci à spécial ezokende epa ya J-Mike toza awana Heaven Above eza studio bomoni même image bomoni son c'est vraiment notre frère congolais. To support to sungana biso na biso tala eloko boye il faut to support ndeko oazo sala makamba bien na kati ya communauté boye vraiment J-Mike merci et puis merci na ingénieur ya Ukcena nyoso na monaki même plateforme le kaki lobby et c'était vraiment bien ingénieur Marlène place aux ali I'm so proud of you you are actually a role model donc continuez na makambo za ko sala you're going to inspire so many young ladies out there ba kota pena ba kuria STEM oyo parce que you are actually ozo salanzela vraiment nzamba pambola aussi kozali and thank you very much all the engineers today and I think up to next time and I just want to say thank you to everyone. May God bless you from where you're watching us. Thank you and up to next time. Bye bye for now.
Merci de nous avoir suivis.
Abonnez-vous massivement sur notre chaîne YouTube, Instagram et Facebook.
Heaven Above Studios.
Merci de nous avoir suivis.
Abonnez-vous massivement sur notre chaîne YouTube, Instagram et Facebook.
Heaven Above Studios.